welcome. I hope you're all enjoying this fantastic occasion so far. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Gary, and I'm the other half of the Best Man team today, and one of Chris's best friends. There comes a moment in every man's life when he meets that special someone who really understands him, someone who will take him for who he is, put up with all of his shortcomings, and laugh at all of his terrible jokes. Now that moment came many years ago for Chris, when he met me. Now it's my job today to give Chris the most uncomfortable 5 minutes of his life, which is only fair because he'll be giving Lisa the most uncomfortable 5 minutes of her life tonight. General theme of the whole speech, by the way. He's just panicking, it's got to be 5 minutes. I do, however, feel slightly on trial today, because Chris has told me if I do a good enough job, I can be the best man at his next wedding.
It just keeps getting better.
Now, I'm not really a fan of public speaking, but I've been told it's much like going to a nudist speech. It's only hard for the first couple of minutes, so bear with me. I have to say though, it's a privilege to be involved in the happiest day of Chris's life, as in fact he was involved in mine. That's right, 2 years ago, he was there, stood by my side, when I successfully installed my new LED TV. Good day, mate.
That's a good day, mate.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, Chris was in fact my best man at my wedding 2 years ago, and did a brilliant job. I only hope I can live up to the standard he set so highly on our. Now, whilst writing this speech, I did the obligatory watching of best man speeches on YouTube bit that any modern best man worth his salt would do. And it became obvious to me at this point in the speech and to regale you all with the tale of how we met that fateful night some 13 years ago. But to be honest, it was much like Chris's in bed. Fairly uneventful and quickly forgettable.
Mate, you need to stop that. Oh, he knows.
All I can remember from that first night I met Chris is it was at one of Carl's house parties, which happened to be out of town. Now, I was the only one old enough to drive and who owned his own car. Chris needed a lift home. Our true bromance blossomed out of sheer convenience. Now, I'm under strict instructions today from Lisa not to mention any of Chris's exes. Fortunately, that shaved a good 5 seconds off my speech today. And I'm definitely not allowed to mention the time I pretended to be one of his exes. He got him to admit to me over a text conversation what he wanted me to do to him.
You're not.
All I can say is our relationship has never been the same since those texts. It's been much better, actually. Thinking back on Chris and I's friendship over the 13 years or so it's been, I've tried to think of a number of embarrassing situations that I could mention for the sake of grilling him throughout this speech. Truth be told, Chris is a man of extremes, giving me either nothing worth mentioning or stuff I definitely can't mention. The latter normally being as incriminating for myself as it is for Chris. I must say at this point what an amazing couple I think Chris and Lisa are, and I'm sure anybody lucky enough to have been in their presence will agree. I can definitely say it's the happiest I've ever seen Chris, even breaking new boundaries to impress Lisa. I think Chris will agree with me that romance has never been his forte. Until Lisa came into his life, he couldn't even pronounce the word. But hats off to the lad, he was going to try. Never more so than when he proposed to Lisa. Now, I'm not quite sure how he planned this out in his head, but the process involved dragging Lisa through a fence, into a field in Tattershall, in heels, on a freezing cold and wet Christmas Eve, to then be chased by a Doberman, chased by a security guard, nearly get prosecuted for trespassing, to then have a very awkward and confusing drive back to Louth, to then go up to Hubbard's Hills and again drag Lisa through a fence, into a wet field, And finally, when her spirit was crushed and her patience threadbare, he got down on one knee and popped a question. Now, if that isn't persistence, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what is, and I think that deserves an applause. I actually asked Chris recently when he first knew that he was in love with Lisa. He told me he knew from the very first moment she told him he was. Chris and Lisa actually bought my house off me some 4 years ago now, which I like to think at the time did all of us a favour. I got a quick and easy sale, and they got a house which had been lovingly looked after. I was, however, slightly upset a few weeks later when I realised just how much DIY they had to do as soon as they moved in. When I asked Chris how he was getting on in the house, he enthusiastically replied, "Amazing, mate. All I've been doing is banging and screwing." I never knew Chris had such a passion for DIY. I know some of you have travelled a long way to be here with Chris and Lisa on their special day, and it means the world to them to have so many people they care about present as possible. It's been an amazing day so far. The setting and ceremony have been incredible, and of course a special mention must go to the beautiful bridesmaids, Abby, Jenny, Louise and Kaylee. Can you all raise your glass to the bridesmaids, please?
To the bridesmaids.
I'm sure you'll agree with me they look absolutely stunning and have done Lisa proud. The most popular piece of advice I was given more than any other for this speech was don't forget to say how beautiful the bride looks. While helpful, it was never going to be needed. Lisa looks truly amazing today, and I think we should raise a glass to the beautiful bride. I also have to say that surprisingly, Chris has scrubbed up well. I remember when the only thing he used to clean regularly was his internet history. In fact, I'll let you all in on a little secret today. I happen to know that Chris was so conscious of looking his best today that he went back to the place where we had our suit fitting in January and asked that they specially tailor his shirt. Well, I've got some good news for you, mate. They actually took so much material out of it that they've made you a spare for today.
Thanks, mate.
On behalf of the bridesmaids, ushers, Carl and myself, I'd like to thank Chris and Lisa for asking us to be involved in the most important day of their lives. I know they both put a tremendous amount of effort into the planning of this wedding, especially Lisa. I can only hope that apart from this speech, everything else will have exceeded your expectations. I'd also like to take a minute to thank the Dow House, without whom this wedding would never have been possible. I can honestly say that Chris and Lisa will be in your debt forever. At nearly £4 a pint, I think most of us will be soon. Seems to me that a fundamental part of any vast man speech is to offer up half a dozen so pieces of marital advice that will hopefully be of some use at some point in your lives together. I, however, while scouring the internet for these words of wisdom, came across one which I felt fairly important to mention at this stage. Now, if you could just face each other for a second. Now, as you stare lovingly into each other's eyes, know this. Statistically, you're looking at the person that's most likely to kill you. That's true. That's absolutely true. All that remains for me to do is to ask you all to charge your glasses, stand and join me in wishing the bride and groom a prosperous and happy life together. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs. Rooks. Mr. and Mrs. Rooks. Yeah!